All right, welcome. Whether you came from the short or you're just a follower of the channel, welcome to the first movie review of 2024. As a few days ago, I posted the first series review on Echo. But welcome to the first movie review. I'm very excited to talk about the first first new release, and that being Mean Girls, the musical, not the 2004 one, the 2024 one. And I shall refer to Mean Girls 2004 as MGOG and Mean Girls the musical as MGM, just to quickly get my points across. But now, MGM is probably one of my most anticipated features of the year because there really isn't a lot, and this just caught my eye. And you know what? I'm a sucker for a good musical every once in a while. And you know what? Enough tease. Let's get right into it and talk about this film. Let's start off with the story. MGM shares a lot of similarities with MGOG in how the story is rather similar. There are a few changes, but one of the biggest changes from MGM to MGOG, from MGOG to MGM, is how MGOG is focused on Cady Heron's perspective, and she is like your main point of focus character and narrator. In MGM, your main point of focus characters is like your narrators are actually more Janice and Damien, which provides an interesting light into the Mean Girls story, as MGOG has Cady as like this conflicted character but always felt like she was in the right. MGM completely makes Cady the villain, and I really like that twist and change on perspective, and how in the new one in MGM, Cady Heron does feel more like Regina George than in MGOG, where she just always felt like just a little bit more like a bitch than before, as they would say in the movie. Like, she was just a little meaner, but not as like ruthless. But this one really does a great job of capturing that, and I think it's because of that fact that you're getting a different narrator's perspective instead of the self-narration. But yeah, like the tiny little changes that they made to the story really enhances the experience and makes MGM its own thing, different from MGOG, which is something that is really worthwhile in a reboot of sorts. So yeah, hand grenade score there. Now let's talk about the real place where this movie shines, and that its cinematic aspect. Because this is a musical, it already has a slight betterness to it than MGOG, but I'm just blown away by how each musical number had a different style to it. So whenever a musical number would happen, the movie would change its aspect ratio or would apply a filter on it. And so it was always different and would visualize something new, making it a completely, like, you'll know when it's in a musical sequence rather than just a normal movie. And I really enjoyed that. And like the fact and the way they did it is just so well done. And some of the transitions are awesome and amazing. Like, I can go on, but like the cinematics and the musical set pieces are just so good. And the music bops. A lot of the songs absolutely bop, and it's so good. Like, I've still got some of the songs stuck in my head, and I will probably have them stuck in my head for another few days, maybe even weeks. But yeah, cinematics is an easy hand grenade score. Directing, like I said, the shot composition, the directing is so solid in this feature. The pacing doesn't necessarily feel a little off. And there is like one musical number that feels a little long, but it really told the story in a different way. I really like how this film differentiates itself from MGOG. So like, it's the same, but there are enough changes to make it a different experience, and both should be viewed as like a pairing together and to compare and boost each other up rather than a replacement one. Directing is one of the greatest parts of this one, and it has to get a hand grenade score here as well. Now, let's talk about the performances of our stellar cast of crew. Let's just get it right out of the park. Renee Rapp, Regina George, is such great casting. There's a reason why they did it. She was Regina George in the Broadway musical of Mean Girls, and so they just brought her back. And honestly, oh my God, great casting there. And the whole cast was just amazing. Angourie Rice really does a great job showing that turn from like innocence and wanting to explore to just evil, conniving, like, oh, mean girl. And like, it's just a great performance from the whole cast. I just wanted to single those two out because those are your two leads. That's Angourie Rice is your Katie Heron, and Renee Rapp is your Regina George. And I just couldn't get by without mentioning those two specifically. But Bebe Wood does a great job, and everyone does a great job. I'm just specifically listing the two that really popped out, and does like great singing work too. Like, God, Angourie Rice does a great job singing, in my personal opinion. Like, it was some pretty good singing, and it was just slightly better trained vocals than Timothée Chalamet and Wonka. But oh my goodness, like, yeah, this was just a great experience. Every time Renee Rapp was on screen, it was sending chills. And God, she has a great voice for singing. It's that Broadway trained voice, I gotta tell you. Yeah, acting is a solid hand grenade score. And let's see, expectations and experience. It met all my expectations. And man, the experience was great. Packed theater. Everyone was enjoying. Some of the jokes just hit so hard, and everyone was laughing. I just have to say that this is easily the most hand grenade movie I've seen so far this year, and most specifically the most hand grenade 2024 movie I've seen this year. Yeah, it's pretty easy to say that when it's the only one you've seen, but yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say. Thank you for tuning in for this long. If you're still watching, leave a like, subscribe if you are liking these reviews. I'm a more unconventional reviewer, but it always warms my heart when I see a subscribe, a new like, or a comment. I love comments, so I always respond if you have something to say. But like, yeah, comment down below if you're planning on checking out Mean Girls the musical, or if you're not planning on checking it out because it's a musical. I'd love to hear your opinions. And yeah, just remember that this is a certified hand grenade movie, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.